face a little bit. All right. Fred, we're live.
We're live.
Yeah, I'm trying to we'll try to watch the chat box here. Let's see. Chat overlay. Oh, we don't need that graphics in the background, though.
I can't read that from here anyways.
Yeah, I figured. I'll read it. I'll read it for us. All right, let me hide that nonsense going on. Let's get a little slow background. All right. So somebody said, brother. I don't know who that is, but some of y'all, if you're hitting us up on Facebook, we can't see who you are. It just says Facebook user. So I'm going to post a chat link. If you use this link, it'll allow you to give Facebook access so we can see who you are. So bear with me. Oh, shit balls. What was that? I don't use my Mac a whole lot, so give me a second here. We're trying something new. We're trying to do a live. It will not let me click this link. There we go. Right click. Copy. I can't get this thing to go on here, Fred.
So all it does is let you see who it is?
Yeah, just so when they're chatting with us, we know who they are.
Or could they just tell you who they are?
Yeah, they could, but then they have to do it every time they say something.
Oh.
Here we go. Now I got it. So now I can paste it into the chat. Paste, enter. There we go. Use that link. Then I can see who it is. Uh-oh. Marcus Mendoza, Lieutenant, makes an appearance.
Superman.
All right. Let's get some Smoke Wagon Rye whiskey going here.
Marcus is badass and all that mountain bike.
Dude, he went from I want to get into riding to I am riding. Like, the dude rides bikes like crazy.
The first year we did that fellowship ride for the fall.
The other guy, Justin Wilder, the one that took the picture of us when we were riding. Yeah. So he's on. Marcus said, thanks, guys. Make sure you guys check out Marcus's group, by the way, his group ride.
That's right.
What is it? What name your group out there, Marcus? We're just trying to remember the name. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Ooh, cheers. I went a little heavy on my pour. Sorry.
Seems like every time I read something about him posting, he's on the podium.
He is always finishing. So NXT North Texas Police Cycling Team. Okay, I wasn't too far off. I'm just going to check the sound real quick.
Okay.
So this is my first time doing live in this format with the new camera. Oof. All right, test. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I am coming in really quiet on here.
If Marcus is still out there, I wonder where is he assigned at now? Where's he at? Because I know he's having issues in certain places.
I don't know. Can't mention it too specifically.
Right.
So test.
I'm sure that's all over by now.
How are we coming across, guys? How's the sound? Do we sound loud enough? Do we sound clear? We sound distorted at all? He's an equipment officer in the Northwest.
Oh. So he's in retirement phase.
Yeah, I think that's fair. For some reason, my sound will not come in my right ear. This is driving me crazy, but nobody's saying sounds good. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. So, today, old man, we're going to talk about, I'm sweating from setting all this shit up.
Yeah. Out of shape.
Yeah. Stay out of shape.
Welcome to my world.
I've been trying to get in shape. I got my military time coming up July 4th.
Yeah, but is it really military time?
It is in the summertime.
Is it?
Because I'm in a hangar.
Oh,
and there's
really?
There's no AC.
Yeah. San Antonio?
Yeah.
You're screwed.
Sucks. I know. Your nation's defenses. But did you hear about that terrorist attack that happened last time I went there?
No.
You're welcome. did my duty.
You saved the world from something, right?
I don't thwart terrorism. I prevent it.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome, guys.
Yeah. I can't say what it... I was chastised that I can't make fun of
the military
because I'd never served.
No, you can make fun of the military as a whole. You just can't pick sides. You can't make fun of the Air Force. You can't make fun of the Marines. But you can make fun of the military because you didn't serve in any of them. That's the rule. I didn't make the rule. It was there before me.
But what if I feel one is more important than the other?
You can't.
Whatever.
You can't. It's an inside thing. It's just like you can't.
I laugh my ass off when I read those funny memes about the Air Force.
Right. Chair Force, the golf, the food.
The latest one was the one where the guy, he was coming from, I guess, the Army or something. He's talking about this workout gym is really nice. Where is everybody?
Oh, yeah.
They're at the pool.
And the massage the massage tables and stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Will you be able to make use of this look for online resources for Stream Hub World by typing it into Google? Oh, you will be able to make use of this look for... I don't know what that means. It's Grandpa Fred. Lang Lang.
What is she doing?
William Gregg said we sound good. So, all right, old man, let's get into it.
Okay.
Now, you were a sergeant for how many years? Majority of your career, right?
No.
No?
I was sergeant probably 7 years.
I thought you were sergeant longer than you were lieutenant.
No, I was lieutenant 19 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Till I got blacklisted and I couldn't go anywhere.
You got blacklisted probably when you made sergeant, if I were to guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So kind of explain going into a sergeant role, because for those that don't know, I am actively in a sergeant role right now, and I am a acting sergeant until my promotion comes. So
congrats.
Thank you. And I gotta say, after doing my first about 2 weeks, fucking love it. It is so fun. I can't believe that I get to do and be a part of all the fun things. Not hands-on. I let them I let the guys do that, but and girls. But I don't have to do any of the paperwork yet. I mean, as far unless you know things happen, dynamics and stuff, but regular stuff. Like we had a crazy shooting turned into a nightmare. I'm sitting there and I look at my training sergeant and I'm like, what do I got to do? And he's like, they do it.
If you have a team that knows what's going on, and I don't know your team.
Yeah.
Apparently you said they are pretty spot on.
They are.
Then, you just make sure they have what they need.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back to when I was a sergeant. Of course, I was trained by one of the best ever.
Who's the best ever?
J.D. Moore.
Ooh, legend. Legend.
Yeah, most people don't know him now. But
what made him legend?
Well, one, he was a walking encyclopedia. Just knew the general orders inside and out. And he knew all that other bullshit that you're supposed to know. That policies and procedures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like the stuff you're supposed to know for your job.
Well, yeah, stuff that let me look that up.
Yeah.
So
that's the majority. Thanks to you, my memory's shit. So,
I can't tell you how many times I said, I don't know, but I will find out for you.
Yeah,
I will.
Yes.
And so Yeah, he was just great that way. Nothing came hard for him. He's just really, really well versed.
Yeah.
And then he was that kind of sergeant that was whatever he said, you listened to.
He just had like a presence.
Yeah, he wasn't full of shit. He just knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Come across genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about him was I had a few years on him.
Age-wise or department-wise?
Department-wise.
Oh, okay.
But he'd been around the block and smart as a whip. Yeah. You can't find one flaw about him and the job other than he smoked. Ooh. But he gave that up after a while.
Okay.
After maybe 2 heart attacks. So,
oh, jeez.
But you've met him. Yeah.
I have.
What can I say?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just spot on. Anyways, I had it kind of easy. You know, he would show me the ropes and then take his time and make sure I knew how to do it.
Yeah.
Then it was a piece of cake. I can't bitch about anything as far as the time I served as a sergeant.
So when you got into being a sarge, he trained you. Is that what you're saying? So he trained you. And what was his day one versus after you'd been working together a while? Like where did you stumble and did you stumble? I don't know.
Well, it's going way back. Yeah, I'm sure I stumbled doing things here and there, but he made it seem like it'll all work out.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you fuck it up, we can still work it out.
Yeah.
And that's what I tried to pass that on with the troops, you know. As long as you're honest with me, we'll work it out.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, if you got something to worry about, I'll tell you. Yeah. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Send over and get ready.
But at least you're not lying.
Right. Yeah. It's easier to deal with as long as you're not holding on to hope when there isn't any. You know what I mean? Like if you're blowing smoke up their ass. I've already had to deal with a potential complaint. Had an officer kind of get complained on. So I dealt with that, kept it at the lowest level. Kind of just doing mediation. It was one of those situations, high tense.
Yeah.
They're looking for an armed person. Somebody is trying to be nosy, but also show that you can't tell them what to do. So it was the meeting of the two powers, and we squashed it, ended with a handshake. So
yeah, well, you're lucky.
Yeah.
In today's climate.
Yeah.
Back in the day was, you know, you could say certain things and just say, screw it, that's it.
Yeah.
But not today.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Brazil just said Eric hit the sauce too early. Hey, it's 6:35. Although this is morning for me. It is. Now that I'm on midnights.
Speaking of midnights, when I got cut loose as a sergeant, I worked evening shift.
Ooh.
I never got to work midnights.
Yeah.
Then I was only there 6 months on the east side, just running and gunning, learning the ropes. And at the time we had, I don't know if they still do it, but we had CIs and people working kind of like pseudo narcotics because the east side is full of dope.
Right.
Some of it is. And I was cleaning up, doing search warrants, just having a good old time. And then they go, "Oh,
in patrol?"
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So we have overlap on certain days, and when we had overlap on certain days, we'd get 1 or 2 guys to go out there and just hunt and search and destroy.
Yeah.
But typically, what they were doing is they kind of learned. Broadwater was one of the first ones. He's out there just writing search warrants and working CIs, fishbowl. And then after he left, John took over, Ornelas.
Yeah.
So they're just out there just hitting a lick and getting search warrants written. Come bring it to us. Oh, it looks good. Get it signed. Next thing you know, the next day we're smashing down doors. And
there's no way patrol could do that today. One, they don't work in teams. So if you guys are wondering what teams would be, it'd be, I am the sergeant. Here is all my guys. We have all the same days off. We work together all the time. Well, now what it is you're a sergeant. I'm a sergeant. Our guys' days overlap. So like I'll have a troop that's with you the majority of the time.
Well,
but he's under me.
We had that also, but there were days when we had like a majority of the people were there.
Right. You'd have a huge overlap, but we only have one day like that now.
Oh.
And you're usually short anyway.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, I don't know if the call volume has gone way up from when you were then.
I'm sure it's gone up, but we had just transferred from weed and seed to not weed and seed, but yet we were still in that weed and seed mode.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, people were still wearing the weed and seed rockers.
Right.
And it kind of pissed some people off. Like, you weren't weed and seed. We were weed and seed, you know.
What?
Yeah. Like, you weren't even around when weed and seed came around. And you're wearing weed and seed rockers because you saw someone wear it.
Oh, so they weren't even a part of it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. It depends on how you want to look at it. Like military-wise, you have what is called a unit patch or a unit award.
Okay, so, I can see that. And I really didn't care because, you know.
Yeah.
What it did was weed and seed was nothing but a bunch of, you know, ass kicking, you know, getting shit done. You can't do it today. And people were trying to go with that glory because we're weed and seed.
Oh, Matt Brazil said, why does it say Mark Lamb? It says Mark Lamb because I did a podcast with him and I forgot to delete it. So delete the caption. There we go. Now it said that you were Mark Lamb. That's not Mark Lamb.
Yeah. Mark Lamb.
But now that since Matt brought that up, I interviewed Mark Lamb, America's Sheriff. You'd know him if you saw him.
Yeah.
You'd know him if you saw him. So
see the one, where's he at?
Arizona, Pinell County.
Yeah.
So
talks a lot of shit.
Yeah. During the interview, my man tells me that he brought back posses.
He's a sheriff though,
right?
He's
a sheriff. Yeah.
They've got some powers that we don't know about.
Right. So he brought posses. I'm like, you have a posse. I was like, what is that? And he's like, it's exactly what it sounds like.
Get on horses and chase people.
Well, they're just civilians that they train.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, so are they like reserve? He goes, nope. He's like, they're a posse. I was like, that is the shit.
It's one of those rules he never got rid of.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, that is crazy. I want a pot because they have a rocker.
Yeah.
That's the only distinguishing difference is their rocker says posse.
I would seriously think about if I was in that area and I was still a police officer, I would like, I want to be a posse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, you don't even have to be a police officer, do you?
No. But I mean, I'm sure it would be better if you were already one and then you just want to move over. But he said it's just like people with regular civilian jobs that just want to help when they can.
Yeah.
And he said more oftentimes than not, the posse will, like if they're on a major accident or something like that, their job is to help set up, block off.
Put on a little vest or something.
Yep. Stuff like that. But they will back up officers. They will.
I wonder how many he has.
He got quite a few. He said he has quite a few. I think he's got like 200 and almost 300 sworn. We'll say that. And then he's got a significant number, like 60 or so posse people. That's just me going off memory. I don't.
Yeah.
Which is
good.
Not reliable. I know, right? So yeah, but so Pinell County is where he's from. And another guy they have is they do Fridays with Frank. He's the guy that pulls people over and it's hilarious. And you've seen it. I've posted his stuff. Yeah. So he's going to be on as well. John Fetzer said, weed and seed days. Gunning and running, good old days. Did you work with a Fetzer?
I don't recognize that name.
Okay. My wife just texted, "Can you please feed Camry's hamster?"
Yeah, I'll get right on it.
Yeah. Feed it, yeah, to the dogs. Just kidding, honey.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you saw that box out there, knucklehead pointer. She got bored and was like, "Well, if you're gone all day, I guess I'll chew this box to show you I'm pissed off." So,
but yeah, I was there 6 months, and then I went to narcotics and didn't know shit about narcotics and just got thrown to the wolves.
Did they put you there or you?
They put me there.
What the fuck?
They put 3 of us there. 3 brand new sergeants that didn't know shit about narcotics.
What?
And word had it, I mean, I think something happened over there. They had to clean house.
Okay.
And what better way to clean house, put 3 brand new rookies over there that don't know what the fuck's going on. And it was, baptismal by fire.
That's how I've felt this whole time. I haven't had a trainer yet, like a trainer. Like,
yeah,
I had roll call yesterday, and I know there's a TNA that I'm supposed to do. I don't have access to it. I had nobody there with me, so there were a couple people off. I don't know what to do from there. I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
I would assume that the majority of it is just, keep people out of trouble.
Yeah, police work is police work. I can do that. That's fine. Like rolling out. Yeah, I'm already used. Like I feel like I'm back in patrol. Like I'm comfortable with the computers, everything. Checking the maps, doing all that stuff. The stuff that you're like, I ain't done this in a minute. Let me see. Shoot, I'm right back in it. So they're kind of like, you're like Johnny on the spot. You're right. I'm always in the spot when somebody calls out on traffic or a domestic pops up and they, their 63 is still kind of far away. I just happen to be in the right place, right time. So
a lot of that just knows how to listen to the radio.
Yeah.
And so you got young. See, back when I was an officer, when I was put on midnights, we had a seasoned group, and then we had a few.
Yeah.
I
kind of feel like that's what I got. They're not old heads by any means, but
right?
They're rookies that they've got 2-3 years under their belt. Most of them.
Oh, see, not us. We had some that had 10 plus years.
I think I got 1 or 2 true rookies, like still in FTO stuff. Yeah. But
sounds like you got fairly new crew.
Yes, but what I mean is they've got the pattern down. Like there's really no questions. They know how to handle everything as far as that. Now it's just learning their craft.
Yeah.
So, but they're call shagging fools.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Like
I don't have any slackers?
None.
Really?
None. Like I'll sit there and a call will come out and it's not even in their side of town. Like, how you got Henry and George. So
I don't know if
they'll bounce. Like they'll help each other out. It's pretty nice.
Mance has always been a tight knit group.
Yeah.
And if someone's been
depends on the side of town.
Slacking
there wasn't a tight knit group on West.
No,
you had a little core that would help on both sides of town or both beats, districts, whatever you want to call them. But there were lazy people on, and you would know. Like they're just gonna sit and write a sheet, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
How do you handle that as a sergeant?
Okay, so I'll give you an example. So you're following. I don't want to say you're chasing dots, but you're looking at stats. You have to look at stats to see who's doing what.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just because someone doesn't answer as many calls, but they may be investigating stuff.
Right, like your Johnny Cox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They're always into stuff.
Right.
So
legend.
Yeah. What you look at is, okay, has this person ever taken anybody to jail?
Mm-hmm.
How many reports do they have? How many calls of service do they have? What is their average time on call? So you look at their average time on call. That's the key thing. You'll see the average time on call, say 44 minutes, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It sounds about right last time I looked at it. But then you notice someone has 88 minutes average time on call. All right. What is this person doing? He's not taking anybody to jail. He's not making any reports.
Yeah.
Okay. There's your first two clues, right? And then, well, what's going on? You got to figure out what the hell they're doing. Why are they on a call for 88 minutes? Every call?
Yeah.
It averages out to 8. So that just means that's the average. So there's times when they're just milking. So you got to figure out, what are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, pretty easy to figure out what they're doing. They're not doing shit.
Yeah.
They're just milking calls, easy calls. So one day I saw this officer and I'm like, Jesus, what are you doing? So I called him in.
Okay.
Said,
so you did it in private.
Yeah. I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm taking care of my beat. You don't have very many calls in your beat. Yeah, because I'm always working it. All right. So I let him go with that. He goes, I work my beat, and then when I'm not working my beat, I help younger officers out. I said, okay, that's commendable. I said, but you don't take anybody to jail? You're not making very many reports? It's because I work it. I keep the riffraff low. I go, okay. Well, I need a favor. Show me what you're doing on that beat that keeps that riffraff low.
So like a log?
No. I said, now go do it over here on this beat.
Oh, okay.
I said, go on. Now you are this beat.
You're working that one.
Yeah. I've got my beat so well conditioned that they can do what,
right.
I'm the sheriff out there and they're going to obey me and I don't have any problems with my beat.
Okay. So
maybe
you're trying to spread that love.
I said, maybe you have a slow beat. Oh no, it was tough. Okay. It was tough.
Okay.
All right. So what did you do? What's your magic?
Yeah.
Why can't these other guys do it? So I go, okay, since you're so good at this, I need you to do me a favor. You promise me to do me a favor? Yeah, I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I said, go over there and work that beat over there and make that beat better.
Oh shit! He started rolling it back. How long had they been on?
15 years.
And they're on mids. Oh, evenings probably for you.
Problem child.
That's hard because evenings is the busiest shift.
It was mids.
Oh, it was mids.
It was mids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I caused a heated debate on which shift gets the most work.
Evening shift to me got a lot of calls.
Yeah.
But I mean,
the shit shows happen at mids.
Yeah.
Mids, typically.
And some of the evening shift get part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But call load evenings all day long.
Mm-hmm.
There's no you can't argue that. It's
at least where I work.
Yeah. In every side of town I've ever worked, at least where we worked, and then up north. I mean, it's always evenings. Gots the boatload.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, as far as leadership goes, there are a few tenets that you cannot screw up.
Yeah.
You cannot promise some stuff that you cannot keep.
Right.
If it comes down to it, hey, Sarge, can you do this for me? I said, well, I don't know if I can do it for you, but I promise I'll try to do it for you.
Right. And I'll let you know the results. I always think that's important.
One of the last things that I did.
Oh, wait, that cord. Don't let him.
One of the last things I did was
damn dog.
When drones are first coming out.
Okay.
He says, hey, let's get a drone department. Why don't we get a drone department? I'm like, that's a good idea. So I looked into it And he got me all these facts and figures about getting drones sponsored, or he just knew all that lingo.
Yeah.
I didn't know shit about drones. But it meant something to him.
Right. And
it meant enough to him that it was important to the department. Mm-hmm. And I knew, I'm not stupid. I know that's going to be the wave of the future.
Yeah.
And so I said, draw me up something. Let's get it in writing. So he wrote something up, and I pushed it up the chain, and I let him know. I said, look, it's up the chain, whether or not they want it or not. And 3 or 4 years after we did that, I think I was already gone, and they started this thing up, and he was one of the few that was chosen to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still there or not, but
yeah,
it's easy to keep a promise like that without making a commitment.
Right.
Hey, yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. My president from the National Real-Time Crime Center Association just said, I think we need to have your dad at our conference, because you mentioned drones. Drones are a big thing right now. So that's funny.
Another one is 2 rookie officers, rookies, right? Looking for a lost kid.
Okay.
All right. It's one of those calls you have to be on until they find it or someone calls it off. And they're like, well, someone mentioned that possibly he could have went underneath this drain ditch. It has a big, I don't know, a ditch that went under a road or some sort.
Okay.
They started thinking, there's all kinds of shit around here with possibilities of where they could go.
Yeah.
As far as ditches and stuff that we would not even know about unless you're like Johnny Cox and knows everything about
every blade of grass.
Yeah. So I said, well, what you got? And he said, well, we thought about doing this, and this, and getting a grid all made up. I said, sounds good.
Yeah.
Do it. Okay. And then you give them time to do it at work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, now go take this too. And I would call up IT or whoever, printing department. That's what it was. And they got every square inch of where these tunnels were.
Oh.
Yeah. And then they go, now we want it put in the MDC.
Right. So you can go to the portal and pull it up.
Yeah. So they were envisioning, I'm sitting here, right here in this car. Where are my access for tunnels?
Yeah.
Not that there's a ton of them, but
yeah,
that's another place to
Imagine if the Ninja Turtles had that.
Yeah. And so, you know who they were?
No.
Glover.
And Owen?
Not Owen.
Oh, it was before Owen.
What is his name? No, it wasn't Glover. I'm sorry. It was.
It doesn't sound like Glover. I love him, but it doesn't sound like him.
Okay. Ryan.
Timmons.
Not Timmons.
Okay.
He worked. He's at the academy now, I think.
Spears.
Spears.
Okay.
Spears and oh God, what was his friend's name? Forget his name. Slick back hair, always smoking.
Ooh.
He may not be smoking anymore, but they came up with that.
Okay.
Rookies.
Yeah.
I mean, just
outside the box.
Clean outside.
I like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Stuff like that.
One of the things I love that you did that I got to witness as an officer was you had problem people that nobody wanted to work around. And you never straight out told me what you would do, but I saw the writing on the wall. You would find and latch on to what they were good at. There wasn't a lot that they were good at, but you'd latch on to what they like to do.
Right.
And you would say, that is all you fucking do. I thought that was brilliant.
Well, I had an officer that would show up and nobody interacted with her, and she'd be in the corner all by herself, and just nobody just got along with her.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens, whether it's because they just don't like people or
you're in the wrong job for that, but
yeah. And this was East Side.
Okay.
Where
you need to like people a little bit more to have some tolerance.
So I would, me, I'm like you.
Yeah.
I can warm up to people.
Yeah.
I get to know these people.
I'm like you.
Yeah. So I noticed that she had been stuck in patrol forever.
Okay.
And she's 15, 16 year plus.
No specialized units, no nothing?
No, because she had built this reputation.
Okay.
And so she's good at putting out fires. So I took her. I said, I want you to be an NPO on loan for just the apartments. And they used to have them back in the day.
Just for apartments?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all you took care of was apartments, because some places had tons of apartments.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a little different because just more problems there.
Yeah.
So she took it, went with it, and just good with numbers, good with computer. I mean, just had it rocking and rolling. And all the other NPOs were like, hell yeah, she can take all my problem areas away from me. And she took on every fucking apartment on the West Side.
Okay.
And killed it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of a different person. I'm not going to name specifically.
Okay.
But wasn't allowed to drive a lot of vehicles. I'll just say that much.
Yeah.
You did awesome with him.
So refresh my memory of what I did with that person.
So same thing, kind of alienated a lot of the people on their team. Nobody really wanted to work around this person.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was complaining that you show up to the calls, fuck them up, whatever it was. And you were like, all right, what is he good at?
Is he that bad?
Yeah. And I remember you reached out to me like, what does he do well? And I had kind of because he wasn't on my team, but I worked around him a lot. I was like, he's great at traffic, loves working accents, writing tickets, all that stuff. And you're like, good. That's what he's going to do. And you took his beat away from him and just told him that he's fill out these books every day and help people and take over people's accidents. Mm-hmm. That was, for me, I love that because I hated working accidents. Yeah. I hated two things: accidents and prisoner pickups, because it took all the fun out of doing the police work. Like,
we knew he would be the type that would love working the accidents. Love working. Did you do DWIs also?
I did.
He did.
He didn't. I don't know if I think he did. Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right.
But he was our pseudo traffic officer.
Right.
Amidst.
But it was a good strategy because rather than force him into something he's not good at to try to make him better, you just took what he was good at and you made him great at it.
And I didn't feed him full of shit. I told him, I said, look, you clearly excel at this part of the job.
Yeah.
Let's just go with it.
Yeah.
And
I think some people are like, well, if you know they're bad at the job, then why don't you get rid of them? Why are you allowing them to stay?
Well, he wasn't so bad that
he wasn't unrecoverable.
Yeah.
It's just a maturity thing.
And you could tell he was trying hard. It wasn't a fuck up. He was just, he was a fuck up. But only because he just didn't have the skill set yet.
I'm getting text messages. So I'm on my laptop now. I'm seeing two different comment sections. The side I'm on isn't popping up on your feed. What am I doing wrong? There's for some reason there is one portion of Facebook. If you are on my Facebook with the chocolate donut, I think your comments will not pop up in the live feed. However, if you chat in the YouTube channel, the other Facebook channels, the Twitch channel, the LinkedIn channel, those should all pop up here. So, LinkedIn user. It doesn't show the LinkedIn names either. That's kind of a pain in the butt. But yeah, we keep jumping between about 13 to 20 people watching all at the same time. Right now we're down to 9. But no, I thought I think that is the one thing I took away from working with you as a leader. Like, that was the one really cool strategy I'd never considered, because I was with everybody else about this same person. I was like, fuck him. Can't do this job. But I never
will have those that people will say the same thing, hey, it's just not working. And let's face it, getting shit done in a larger department is like pulling teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of constantly going for the throat and trying to get rid of this person, let's see what we can do before we get to that point.
Yeah.
And I call him Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow.
Yeah. Because he came across the radio one time just
screaming
his ass off, chasing somebody.
Yeah.
And the guy ended up jumping off a bridge or something like that and breaking bones. And I mean, all kinds of officers were out there. And he didn't even catch the guy. Somebody else caught him.
Gravity caught him.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, and people would make fun of him because he's on the radio screaming like a little bitch. And
yeah.
He goes, I got a nickname for you. It's Broken Arrow.
You told him that?
I did.
Okay.
I said, and we still joke about that today. We're on Facebook, and I think he's a fucking lieutenant now.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Or sergeant. Yeah. So
yeah,
he was bless his heart. He I think one of my captains told me, if he wrecks one more car,
he's done.
Yeah. And so I think he did wreck a car, and I hid it from the captain.
What kind of supervisor hides that? You don't.
Well,
if you knew about it.
Yeah. He owed me one. So
yeah, okay. Gotcha. What is your opinion on, what I call your leadership style is holistic? Very big picture, you're dealing with the person versus dealing with the rules and the policy, say.
Yeah.
Now you have black and white people, those leaders, the leaders that like, here's the rules. I'm going to dig into all this shit. I'm going to look at body cam video and, he swore while he was in the car by himself. That's a write-up. What?
When I
can see your face already.
When I came back to patrol from narcotics after 6 years, I was sent downtown.
Okay, so you're in a downtown area.
And I worked with this new sergeant, fairly new. And he wasn't well liked.
Okay.
But I didn't know him. He's just co-sergeant. So I would hear people would bitch about him when he's off.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't cut it up with me because, like, I'm the new guy.
They didn't know you yet.
Yeah.
They weren't sure about you. Okay.
I just heard them laughing their asses off one day. And I walk out. What's so funny? Nothing. And then finally it's like,
tell me, fuckers.
I want to know too.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So they finally opened up.
Yeah.
And they said, first of all, they called this sergeant Porky Pig.
Okay.
Because he talked like, yeah, but,
okay,
like Porky Pig.
Yeah.
And having me laughing. Can I mention the officer's name?
You're retired. You can say whatever you want.
So, his name is Joe Hill.
Okay.
Brand new, rookie, right?
Yeah.
And if you know him,
You got another cube in there, by the way.
If you know him, you know he's hilarious.
Yeah.
So he opens up with me. He goes, "Yeah. Oh, what's this about?" I mean, he goes, "He's a snake." I said, "Well, how?" He goes, "I'll tell you what. Would you write someone up for not notifying you that he's going to deadline a car because there's something wrong with it?" I said, "No. Why would I even care if you're deadlining a car?" He goes, "Get this. Go into his desk and pull up his calendar, and you'll see all those write-ups."
So he's holding them?
He knows them. They know his game. So I go up there and I lift it up, his desk calendar, and underneath it are like bullshit write-ups for stupid stuff. Like, didn't notify me.
Yeah. I would have printed up a picture of the finger and
deadline in a car
and hid it under there.
Or
it's an officer.
Or getting gas at the wrong time of because you're not supposed to get gas like this. I don't know if it's still there, but
I've never heard
the
that
last 30 minutes of your shift.
I never heard that rule. So.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Just bullshit stuff.
If that's a rule, shit.
Yeah.
That's like the best time. Because then you can write out the gas sheet before the end of shift. You got a good call.
I forget exactly when it is. It's meant so you don't sneak home and milk out.
Were GPS a thing at this time?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a thing now. You ain't getting away with that shit.
Yeah. So I'm like, what the hell's all this shit? Just the total opposite of what a leader is.
Okay, so you're a sergeant. Do you say anything? I know me because of your fucking DNA in me. I would have been like, bro, that's a dick move. Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, you can't.
Because that's a co-sergeant.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to say that to a lieutenant. I hope not. I see the writing on the wall right now. I may do that soon, but thanks, Dad.
You know, you bring it up to him, say, that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, you know, rules are rules. I said, okay, where are you going with this? You want to demoralize that officer for something so minor that's not even really considered a violation per se.
Yeah.
Now, they're bitter because you wrote them up.
How productive do you think you're going to be?
Yeah. So rules are rules. So I said, well.
So did you ever find yourself saying anything to any other sergeant that you saw that was doing stupid stuff like that? Because even good sergeants, I find, you know, you catch I'll catch myself in a mood where I'm just like, I had one. Wasn't going to come to roll call. And that's a thing for me. Like, I will always tell you why.
If I have a good excuse not to.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'll explain why. Like, I'm a big why person. Like, this is the reason why. Like, for me, we are a team. Whether you work for me one day or you work for me all days or whatever in between, we have to depend on each other. I need to have that empathetic correlation with you in some way. That because I'm a teams guy. That's my military background. That's my working on a specialized team, you know, for the police department for 4 years. I want to see your face. I want to know who you are. And 2, I may have some pass-ons and stuff like that, and I'm not going to make a special fucking announcement for you because you didn't want to show up to roll call.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's important. And if you don't bother to show up, like, that's a big deal to me. Like, you better have a good excuse. Like,
yeah.
I saw a call holding when I was getting loaded up way out there. I just want to get a head start. All right, cool. Like, I get that.
Of course, you learn different leadership styles as you're going up through the ranks. And when I was a rookie, I had excellent sergeants except for one. And I learned from them.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it was cultivated from.
Did you learn from the shitty one?
No.
You learned what you don't like?
So, what I was going to say is, like, you don't know this officer. You might know him. Ramirez.
Chris?
No.
Oh.
Oscar Ramirez. He's probably gone before you got there. Maybe not. Him, Chipmunk. Who else was it? They were really, really, they took care of you.
Right.
And you knew when they were going out of their way to help you out. Phil South, East Side, Strip Matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. To a fault. Those two to a fault would cover your ass for you. But you knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you kept quiet and you knew that they stuck their neck out for you. And they could fade the heat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they're 30 years on the department or more.
You're not talking criminal stuff. You're talking internal police shit.
Yeah.
I'm right now. I'm just watching. I'm just sitting back and watching all these other sergeants that have been doing it a little bit longer, or newly. Some of them are fairly new. They haven't even got a year under their belt, but they've got more time than I do. So I'm just kind of sitting back watching, and with the batch that I'm out with, all the ones that I've seen so far has been great. Like, they're very pro police work. They're very hands off as far as let their guys do the job.
Yeah.
And I like that. What I'm not liking is what I see above me. I'm seeing like chicken shit stuff that I don't like.
They're all running scared, I bet.
And it's, what do you do as a sergeant? What hill do you decide to die on? That's where
okay. So
how do you know when to die on a hill?
It's going to be different for me because, you have different aspirations than I do.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to be more careful. I never wanted to be a chief of police anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
My goal was I wanted to be lieutenant. And
fucking killed that, didn't you?
I did. I think I
19 years.
Yeah. I think back when I was a rookie, I watched the shift commander up there just giving roll call. I'm like, I want that job. I want that job because what do they do? They're up there barking orders, let's take care of this shit, just like Hill Street Blues,
Right.
And then the sergeants went out there and they handled all the business, right?
Yeah.
And you like show up whenever it's important. Good job. Right.
Yeah.
So, and not to say it's that easy.
Yeah.
But if your team knows what they're doing, it is that easy.
It is. It runs itself.
And I don't want to say I'm lazy, but after so many years, you ain't chasing people.
Right.
Like, that's the job I want to end up with. And they finally brought it back towards the end of my career where they said, okay, no more of this commander shit. You're going to be a shift lieutenant. And that's what I ended up being.
Yeah.
And I can say, I reached my goal. I want to say I probably should have ranked up one more time.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because from what I'm hearing, that captains in that department aren't really
as relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it probably would have been relevant while you were still there. It just,
I don't know. When I was leaving, we had commanders.
Yeah. For me, looking at you, and one, we got gypped on working together at the end, which was bullshit. I'm still mad about that. And that person is gone as well. So thanks for screwing up me and my dad's last couple of years together.
Where did he go?
Retired.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, Steve Wallace says, "What's up?" Somebody else said, "What's up, guys? Good to see you all together, chatting it up. Appreciate it." Okay, so leadership, when it comes time that you got to do something with your troop as far as a write-up, how did you go into that?
I guess it would all depend on how I found out about it. Was it a complaint? Was it something that was on tape?
We have videos now, but yeah.
What's not the same thing?
No.
God damn it.
I have your shooting on tape.
Okay.
And everything else is video.
Video?
Yeah.
Okay, video.
Okay, so we have it on video now.
So you'd have to, I mean, okay, let's just go generic. Okay. All right, give me a scenario where.
Okay, so let's say it's something you witness, right? You witness your troop busting through a red light. No calls are coming. They just did it just to do it. It's on camera. It's on city camera because there's a camera, it's an intersection that there's cameras.
Okay.
And how do you handle that situation?
Okay. I'm going back to my time, so I don't know if this would be practical today.
Okay.
But someone's just blowing a light just to blow a light.
Yeah.
No reason.
No reason.
Okay. They're caught on video.
It's caught on video.
Okay. And who else knows about it?
Nobody.
Nobody knows about it.
Nobody knows about it.
All right. I'm like, call them in. We got a problem. What's that? Look at this video. You're running a red light. Yeah. Okay. You know what could happen if this got out? What if someone saw? I mean, how do I even know about this? Is it coming from the chain? Or am I just, how did I find out about this?
You were there. You just happened to be coming up the road.
Okay. So
they didn't see you. You just happened to be driving down the road and you see your guy.
Right.
Blow the light and you're like, oh shit, what's going on? You check the MDC.
Okay. Yeah.
So
they're just blowing, say they're going to lunch.
Okay.
You got to go to lunch.
Yeah.
Right. You got to pull them in. Say, look, what's up with this? What are you talking about? Obviously, you're going to lunch or something because
you've done it as an officer.
Yeah. Yeah. You blew that light. What could possibly go wrong? Tell me. Well, I could hit somebody. Yeah.
A citizen could be videoing it.
Yeah. And I go, now I know about it.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to take care of this?
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. What would you do if you were me?
Yeah.
Well, I said, okay, now be honest. Are you going to write yourself up? Well, would you write me up?
Yeah.
Well, I think I would give you a benefit of the doubt, blah, blah, blah. Maybe, use one warning. I said, all right, how about we do this? How about you write down there, I will not run. Write yourself up a little note and we'll put it in your file. And if you don't do it again after 6 months, we'll just remove it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And now you're clean.
Yeah.
Now you got something documented that you did something about it.
Yeah.
But you didn't fuck them.
Right.
Of course, I guess that's another story is how much of a fuck up are they?
Yeah.
If they're a fuck up, you may want to fuck them.
Yeah.
Because, they're just waiting for something
right
to get rid of them. I didn't have any. I had one, same guy, but he got fired anyways.
No shit.
That's the same guy I told you about. clean up this beat, go that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Wait, did it rhyme with Blinkovich?
Nope.
No? Okay. Sorry. Yeah, okay. I like that. That's a different way to do it. I like how you turned it. What would you do if you're in my shoes? I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, because look what
you put me in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm one of the boys, but yet I'm not.
Right. Yeah. It's hard.
So, and that's the hard thing about it is,
especially being I'm a people person. Yeah, I love talking to people.
And you'll have the same problem I had was, oh, Levine's cool. He'll be all right with that.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not cool with it. You just put me in a fucked up spot because if they find out that I did nothing, now I'm getting in trouble.
I had one of the most serious calls that you could ever come across as an officer.
Okay.
What would you do if you found out an officer was suicidal?
I've had a lot with that. Okay. So
what would you do about it?
For me, just the whole, like, if I thought they were legit, legit suicidal, like, I'm reporting that all the way through. Because it has been it's been beating our heads as military.
This was before.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We're in different shoes because for me, it's day one of, 06 when I first got in the military. We had, the war started in 01. So you had from 01 to 06 for them to learn a lot about the.
What if it was one of your favorite officers?
I don't care. Like I take it real. I take it very serious just because of people that I had thought were fine.
What I told her was, you can't tell me this stuff. Now I have to do something.
Oh, for sure.
And luckily, I was able to get her in contact with the peer support group.
Yeah.
And then it was out of my hands.
Yeah.
And, I think she knew better.
That you would do that route.
Yeah.
It was like her way of getting help without doing it herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she was one of my people that didn't like to be around other people.
Yeah.
But I figured out what she was good at, and she just needed a break,
and
nobody would give her a break. And the only reason I gave her that break, knowing that, okay, this is a gamble on my part, but I took a risk and it worked. And she ended up being, really good at, she's really good at talking to people, being an MPO type officer. She's not, even though she was involved in a shooting, she's just not, she didn't come across that way.
Right. Yeah, you're not volunteering for SWAT.
No.
Right. Yeah,
no.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm when it comes to that stuff, like that's easy to me. And now that you're bringing it up, maybe it's something that I should make very clear to my team the next time I see them is like, hey, if you're having troubles, anything like that, just know if you come to me, I am going to do something about it.
Yeah. I don't, it's been a while since I've, last worked, but that.
How long you been retired?
17. 8 years. Okay. No, not 8 years.
I can't do that in my head.
What is that? 6 years? 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years. Damn. Quick, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, right now it's like, hey, everybody has issues and we got to watch each other's back, whether it's drinking or drugs or whatever it is.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. And I don't know how it is nowadays, but it seems like you always hear, well, nobody was there for him. Nobody was there for him. Nobody was there for him. Has that changed?
I don't know. I think the last suicide that I had dealt with, issue that I dealt with was 4 or 5 years ago, and from what I heard, there were a lot of people that were like, we tried to
Yeah.
help him out. So, yeah, Matt Brazil said, "What do y'all think about putting those officers back on the street after something like that happens?" I'm fine with it. Like, as long as they're getting help. And I think being on the street, if you're a suicidal person, I guess I can only look at it from my own perspective. Is if you are a suicidal person, but the job gives you somewhat of a purpose, like that's the best place for you to be.
I'm conflicted on it because we make concessions for other issues. Like, she may not be cut out for the street, but yet she's an excellent detective.
Right. Just like you may not be a great detective, but you're an amazing sergeant.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Salazar.
I think I agree with Matt.
Yeah.
If he's saying that maybe we shouldn't put him on the street because.
Right. I get that. I wasn't thinking like the actual positions. I was just saying like being a cop. Like,
yeah,
I don't think you should strip them.
No, because there's definitely an issue there. And if they're family, they're family.
Yeah.
So do what you can for them. If they can still pass all the physical requirements, but yet, it's a stigma.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's just face it, it's some people are going to have issues with it. All right. Well, why don't we just put them somewhere where it may help everybody out?
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to have people, oh, that's bullshit. I wanted to go there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can't make everybody happy.
And there's people that will cry wolf just to get positions out of that, but I'm more like, I'm going to trust the people that are around that person. And if they decide that would be a good course of action, that's the way I would go.
That is a good point. I can tell you there's a ton of people I know that would
play that card just to get what they want. Yeah. Which goes into policing and the way the community looks at us. Like, that person's a shit. Why are they a cop?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I've got people that I could tell you, not a big list by any means, but I've got at least one hand's worth of people that I could sit back and go, this person shouldn't be a cop.
If Matt is saying if they passed all the requirements to stay a cop, I'd still move them. But if they don't, well, then we just get rid of them. If that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah. He just said, I agree it's a tough decision to make. Liabilities come into play if they ever get that way again and decide not to reach out. But then again, that may be the only time it ever happens, especially if it turns into a situation where they may hurt others. Yes.
Yeah.
Hurting others is obviously a big concern. I have never gotten that vibe from anybody in the military or policing that has had suicidal thoughts and things like that, where I thought they're going to hurt somebody else.
Okay. Let's speak of Matt. Where did he go after he came back to work?
Well, he's gone and come back and then gone and then come back several times because he's had a shitload of fucking surgeries. And he's had setbacks. So I think he's finally back, but I know him and himself, without throwing I'm not trying to throw your shit out there, Matt, but he had a rough time. Right. I mean, who wouldn't? So, but I don't know where he landed now. I think I would assume he's back in patrol on his side of town.
Right.
So, Carolyn Gilmore.
I'm just curious.
Today, you can't get rid of them when you tell them to ask for help. No, and you're right. I'm with you, Carolyn. Like, no, you can't get rid of them if they're out, if they're reaching out.
Carolyn's my girl.
Yeah. Samson Chief, right? I don't know if she's still doing that, by the way. See, Carolyn, did you get your?
Say she went to TCU or not?
I don't know. I thought she was up for election on something, and I don't know if she's still out there. But he's in TIU. He said. Oh no, I'm sorry. A Facebook user said that. Carolyn Gilbert goes, Freddie's the best. It sucks because this cord isn't the longest, so I'm trying to read, and the type is very small. So bear with me, people. Let me see. What's this button do? Oh, there we go. Now I can read everything. Beautiful. This is perfect. I don't think you can see that. I don't want to turn it too.
No, bad. I can trust you.
Okay, good. Carolyn said, did 18 months at the DA's office. Oh shit.
Really?
Really? Look at you, girl. Not bad.
She knows somebody.
Right?
Hey.
Hey. She's running for constable for precinct 4.
I don't know who has that spot now, but
you'd be stupid not to vote for Carolyn.
Should be an easy win.
Right? Primaries March 2024.
Is she ever going to retire?
You've ever seen her? She's a ball of energy. She's not retiring for it. She'll never retire.
She got her business and all kinds of stuff.
Web Medics 1614.6 said the print gets smaller with every pour. It does get. That's a good point. Hey, I figured out how to biggie size. The problem is I'm on this laptop, and this is for people listening. This is the first time I've ever done it this way. I got a new camera. I've got a new setup. My laptop, however, has no power going to it. We're only at 74%, so we're going to be fine. But I got a new camera, and I've been trying to do this mobile podcast idea, and we finally got it going. So this was me testing it out. And the old man was coming over, so I said, hey, do you want to go live? So he'd probably say it would 45 minutes.
Yeah.
By the time we got this thing up and running. So I'm learning. We're trying to figure this out as we go. Carolyn said, never retire.
I'm gonna go zooming through her part of town.
Right? Yeah. Pull me over. Let me find out.
I know Carolyn Gilmore.
I know your chief. Matt said, I will say this. People love to check on you at first when you get hurt. You almost can't get people to stop checking on you.
Oh, yeah.
But as time goes on, most of them fade away, and it's natural to be selfish, and I'm good. But I think people need to remember to check on people as time goes by. Just because the initial issues are over, there's a lot people still deal with. I can't say the word. I used to never understand that until I got hurt. And I hope it wasn't one of those guys, Matt. I tried to check on you as often as I could. Matt Pierce just checked in, said facts. So like he would know. Act like you got shot.
Matt Pierce sounds familiar.
Yeah, did he do something significant in police work? I don't know.
Oh, wait, he knows this girl named Brandy, I think.
Brandy, yes. Yeah. I think he rode her coattails in his police career, and that is why he's so well known.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because she's a doctor now.
She's something like that. Like brain surgeon
and Matt's
or something.
just a cop, so. Yeah, that makes it. Yeah, like a brain surgeon. That makes sense. Yeah. This is why Matt doesn't drink with us. He said facts. Shit. Carolyn Gilmore said dead, Matt. See, this is why the mobile podcasting is going to work. This is what we're going to end up doing. This is the idea, guys. We are going to take the mobile idea for the podcast, and we'll go show up, and Carolyn and Matt and Brandy and the old man. It doesn't matter who, but we can just sit here and bullshit and have a live just like this. We don't have to be too specific.
Well, yeah,
the rise getting me too specific about anything, and do the lives, and people will join in and chime in, and we can answer questions as we go and talk about that shit. Eric, you were the worst offender. Absolutely crushed me. Still does. I put your name on my list like Steve Buscemi. and Billy Madison.
Who wrote that?
Matt Brazil. He's putting his lipstick on. Levine.
Shit.
Love the reference. That's one of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. But leadership and again, I can't. It's funny because when I got into police work, one of the reasons I told you I would never come to Fort Worth, Texas, in Dallas, DFW area, and all of those zones is because oops, is because I didn't want to be in your shadow. I wanted to do my own thing, become my own cop, blah, 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 right? And I come down here in this area and it doesn't matter. I still am, but in a good way. Because your leadership qualities, every time somebody says something to me, is like, you're just like your dad.
Yeah.
You decided that like your dad.
Yeah.
And so I like having these discussions. And I told you when I knew I was promoting, like, I'm super excited, I was like, I try to ask you a lot of questions because I saw how all the troops looked at you.
It's
and they love you.
Sergeant position is the best position ever. It just is. I don't care what you say about other ranks, but it's the best one.
Yeah.
You are, how do I put this? You're almost a father figure, but you're not, you're not their father, but
right.
You're supposed to know everything.
No, please don't. That's my biggest fear because I tell them straight up, I'm like, I'm learning. I don't know. They asked me questions last night. I was like, shit. I don't know. I'm like, well, let's learn this together.
Yeah, I could say honestly, that's probably what I said the most is I have no clue, but we'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just starting to get into the groove and they yanked me to narcotics and I had to learn completely different.
And it's different
skill set.
Being in a closed unit is so the formalities are gone. Like there's a different dynamic. And that is a hard thing to tell people like that don't understand how these specialized units work versus the formalized units patrol.
What I will tell you that you will find out quickly is you'll have all these grandiose ideas of how to improve stuff and kind of keep that in check because you may need a lot of things improved. You may not need anything improved, but for example,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But say you want to improve morale or make it more fun to where they're not so tied to the radio. You got to be careful on how you do that because you think that, well, if I just divvy it up and everybody get a chance to play, then everybody will be a little more happier.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll find there's people that don't want anything to do with that. They don't want to search and destroy. They just want to answer calls. That's it. And then, okay, you don't want to answer calls.
Which is hard for me because
I'm
an active dude.
You just want to answer calls. Yeah. Now, how do you keep them to be happy when you're taking somebody off of calls to go play?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to kind of play both sides.
Yeah.
And you got to say, okay, look, let's just try this. And we'll do it on the days we have extra people.
Yeah.
And you know, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it.
So what I hear you saying is as a leader, you can't do it evenly. You can do it fairly.
Yeah, you can. And
because what's fair to you, it's my decision as a supervisor, what's fair.
Right.
And if I have a guy that wants to be very proactive, and then I have a guy that wants to just shag calls.
Right.
Doing what what's square across the board doesn't mean doing what's fair. It is unfair for me to not facilitate and harness an officer that wants to be proactive. I need to help that.
Right.
And at the same time, I can't punish somebody that wants to just shag calls, even though it's not the style of officer I am. I'm very, very active.
Right.
So, the point I'm trying to make is it isn't even. But that's what's fair. It isn't even, but that's what's fair.
Yeah. You could have, say you have 10 officers in your group. Let's say 10. 5 are really eager to do it. 3 are like, and 2 are like, I don't want any part of it. How do you keep it to those 2 that don't want to do any part of it to where they're happy? You can't. I mean, if they had it their way, everybody just answer calls.
Right.
So you may or may not have to pull them in and say, hey, look, you know, your input is valuable to me, but, you know, I am trying to do something here, and this is what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And don't try to justify yourself, but just say, look, you know, this is what I want to do, and I want to make it work.
Yeah.
I would like some input. And most of the time they're going to say, whatever, and just blow it off. But every so often you'll get somebody who will chime in and say, yeah, but, and then you're like, oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
And if you can say that to them, like, well, I never thought of that. And then you go like, that's a consideration. And then really consider it. Don't just blow it off. You don't know everything. One of the things that made me a decent, I don't say, I can say, I think I was a good supervisor.
Right.
But, you know, who am I to judge myself?
Yeah. You're going based off what everybody's told you.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I can tell you, with you not around, people have always told me, like, I hope you're as good as your dad.
What I felt was, I never was like, I knew everything. I was the best officer. I was the ass kicker, blah, blah, blah. I would go to people in public and say, this officer here, and he could be here for a year or 10 years. And a lot of times it was less than 5 years. So I was never as good as he was. Never.
Yeah.
And just let him know that, or her know that. My last assignment, I had 2 females on my team. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I called them in. And I called them in. I said, they thought they were in trouble. Oh, puppy. I go, whatever y'all are doing, just keep it up. They go, well, what do we do? I said, I'm looking at the stats. I see what y'all are doing. I said, you're running circles around these guys, these men.
Yeah.
I said, this is what it's about. I said, and I am going to tell everybody that my best 2 officers are females. And they're going to be pissed because, whoa,
right. Male dominated career. Yeah.
So, they're just amazing.
Did you ever face so I've got I preferred, and it was because of you specifically, because of Renee. I preferred to ride around with females if I could as a running partner, because I found every time I'd handle a call, if it was something that I couldn't get done on my own, the female perspective seemed to be the perfect balance.
I can see that.
So as a supervisor, did you ever run across where, like, I don't want to ride with a girl, or did you ever run across anything like that?
Nobody who would admit it. But yeah, there was, you could tell, especially back in the day.
Right. That was the writing on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
like I said, I've never faced that. But like I said, and this is no slam against Madursky because he was one of my great running partners out there. But like I rode around with Stewart, and that's when I started to learn. Even though she's a shit magnet, which I posted about shit magnets, she's one of mine. But for the most part, like if I couldn't handle my beat and there was an issue, she usually backed me up, and she would be able to squash it at a different level, different way of thinking. I don't know if it's because females think with both sides of their brains and we're dumb and we only think with one, but
well,
I just preferred it.
I think you can stay out of trouble more if you have a female officer.
Yeah.
And I think I benefited from that tremendously. But of course, we're talking 2 different generations.
Very different.
Yeah.
Your generation was a bitch generation.
Renee has told me this multiple times. I can say shit and do shit that most officers can't say without getting in trouble.
Right. I think I got that from you.
And I know what she's saying.
Right.
And it's not like I'm trying.
Yeah, you're being you.
Yeah.
But it's genuine. That's the difference. Mm-hmm. It's genuine. Oh, Carolyn said, some of us women didn't want to ride with women if they weren't workers or men that were slackers, but often Phil South would intentionally partner up people who could bring out the best in each other.
Yep. Oh, Phil.
She said Freddie was a worker. So when he promoted, we knew that he knew exactly what he was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Matt Pierce said you were an absolute great supervisor.
Matt's the boy. Yeah. We had fun.
Yeah. I mean, since we're talking about people that were non-workers, you didn't really get through to Matt apparently. So, just kidding, Matt.
It just seemed like Matt would be the type he'd walk by the office and stop and just bitch. Okay, I'm good, and then leave.
He needs a vent. He's like, get in my car. It's filled with trash. There's no gas in it. I go out.
Carol and I ran into Sarah Stratton the other day at the jail.
Okay.
She's doing what I do.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Okay. And for those that don't know, the old man is now retired from policing, and he is is it a PI? Is that really what it is?
Private investigator? It is. It's a private investigator. It's nothing like TV, but
yeah,
it's it's interesting. Keeps you in the game. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you can work for the shitheads." I'm like, you're not really working for the shitheads. You're working for an attorney, and you let him know what you feel about this case.
Right. Like his story's full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, 99% of the time the state has put on a decent case and you're pretty much screwed.
You're fucked. Yeah.
Every once in a while I'll find loopholes and like, wait a minute, you didn't check into this.
Right.
And, a lot of it's more like, hey, my guy couldn't have done it, even though he's a shithead, but he couldn't have done it because he was in the hospital.
Right.
Okay. You find that stuff out. Yeah. Or yeah, he did it, but, and then you start throwing those things out there. If you were to, because you know how cops are, like, yeah, you did it. You're guilty. Paper written. Right. So then you come to find out, there's a little backstory here. And not that it means a whole lot, but it could mean some years in jail.
Right.
And that's what the job's about.
And I think it's the same in police work. And this is one of the things that I like, that I pride myself in as a leader, is trying to show the big picture. Like, hey, you just pulled over this kid. I'll give you a situation we had just last night. There's a particular part of town where everybody shows up, shows off their cars, plays loud music. They all gather. And occasionally you get the knucklehead that feels like they got to show out for everybody that's there. And they're going to drive while hanging out the door, doing dumb stuff, doing dumb kid stuff.
Yep.
And can you pull them over and arrest them and do all that? Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Mhm.
But is that going to help society, or are you going to teach them a lesson at that time? So
Yeah.
what you're saying with what you're talking about is, yes, did they break the law? But every case is different. Doesn't matter if it's a domestic. Doesn't matter if you rob this bank, you rob that bank, you rob this bank. Like, there are circumstances to every single case, and you have to look into those.
To a point, yes. Yeah. In your situation with the kids driving around crazy, I saw an excellent video. I forget where it was, but kids hanging out, parking lot, and the officer drives by and goes, everybody have a nice day unless you're driving a Honda. And
talking shit about his engine.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
And then you're building a rapport. I mean, okay, what are you going to do? Okay, you're by yourself or you're two other officers. You can't really do a whole lot. So why not try something like that and create an atmosphere where, well, okay, they're cool. Let's just disperse, or maybe it takes a little while to disperse, but you're not chasing anybody.
Yeah.
You're
not forcing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it can go both ways. And some people, this is where I clash, because I'm not a black and white guy. Like, I despise that. But at the same time, it's like, you can't say shit about it, because there are some people that are that way, and that's the rules. What do you do? If you outrank me, there ain't shit I can say.
We've all been there where there's bullshit going on, and you have to pick your battles.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in narcotics.
I remember.
Oh my God. I worked for a tyrant who probably had bipolarism, whatever you want to call it.
He had an ism.
Yeah.
Just put it that way.
And it was a mess.
Yeah.
Carolyn missed all that, but she went there right after I did, and she may have seen some of it.
Yeah.
But oh my God.
She probably went in there bright-eyed. Everything looked cool to her. Matt Pierce said, how many times do you get a case as a detective and you look at everything and don't feel good about the file, the charges, just because they got arrested for it? Yeah, that happens. That does happen. And then you get on the phone with them and you're like, okay.
I didn't think about that.
I see where you're coming from on this. And that's when you get on the horn. I'm very much, I'll talk to the DA, to the intake prosecutors, and I thought he was gonna pull that cord, and tell them, like, hey, I don't like this case. I don't like where it's going. It doesn't feel right. But Matt, you're talking from the perspective of a detective that cares about his cases rather than the amount of warrants he pushes out. So there's that. But
and speaking of detectives, that's a whole new ballgame.
Right.
We're speaking of patrol, and you got fresh new rookies and old timers who are just set on their ways.
Yeah. Okay. So let me give you a little situation I've already started dealing with.
Okay.
Is, as a detective, I'm looking at cases and it's suspect case, suspect case, suspect case, suspect case. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, you had the fucking elements to arrest this guy on the scene. Why are you suspect casing this shit? And I'm seeing that now as a sergeant in the field. They're like, should I just suspect case us? I'm like, no, you have the elements, arrest him. Why would we suspect case that? That's the culture that's been pushed on these guys to avoid the arrest, because sergeants don't want to make the decision. And that's fucked up. You got the elements there. Why would you put more work on somebody else? And not only that, to me, it's a safety hazard because, okay, suspect case them, which you got enough for a warrant later on because you had enough for an arrest on scene.
I'm not real clear on, are these cases that they've called a detective on?
No. No detective's been called. So I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it from two lenses because I just got out of the detective gig, but now I'm the sergeant. So I've seen cases come across my desk and I'm like, why do I have to write a warrant on this case? You had it. You had it here. I watched your body cam footage. You articulated all the reasons that you had to arrest him on scene. And then you asked the sergeant, should I suspect case or should we arrest him? And what I'm seeing is, in some cases, they're suspect casing it because they're being lazy. And then in other cases, I've seen it because the sergeant's advising them, let's just suspect case it. And I'm like, that's horseshit. You had it. You had the elements for the arrest here. Now what you're doing is you're creating a potential for a safety issue and for more work to have to come down the line.
I would think that it would be a sergeant in the CID to call that sergeant and say, hey, look, I don't know what was out there at the time, but this was a good case. Should have just went and arrested him. And then give that officer an out to say, well, whatever they're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then next time they should know better.
Matt Brazil said, I had a jail sergeant refuse to take an ag assault with a deadly weapon charge after dude was smashed in the head with a golf club. Had a huge argument over it, fit all the requirements, but he wanted to play judge instead of taking my charge and would not accept it until I lowered the charge. Thoughts? You don't want my thoughts because it's going to get you in trouble, because I have gone around the jail sergeants and went straight to the judges, and have caused very heated debates.
I want names.
Which could have got me in trouble. But that's the type of relationship I ended up getting with the judges, and I recommend it as cops. Like, if you're out in the field and you get these arrests, it is always good to talk to these 24-hour judges, get to know who they are. Because I have found with jail sergeants, they end up getting that complex, that exact thing that they're talking about.
So you're saying you would call the judge beforehand?
What I would do, and this is after like an incident that Matt's talking about. I know I have the elements. I am 100% sure I'm right.
Okay.
And none of your argument makes sense to me. My sergeant is agreement with me, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to go talk to the judge.
So you only do it after you hear from them.
Yes.
From the
yeah, that's me as an officer. So,
gotcha.
And I've done it. And I've done it as a detective, even, like seeing some of the stuff. I'm like,
how are you selling it though?
I'm not selling it. I'm just saying, hey, can I run something by you?
No, but how are you selling it to the sergeant who already turned you down?
I don't go around him without telling him I'm going to go talk to the judge. Well, that's what I did.
Yeah, but you do give him the heads up. You're talking.
Oh yeah,
that's what
I don't, and I'm not going to say his name, but it happened several times to the point where that person doesn't really like to talk to me anymore. But I knew I was right.
Is that why he's at the jail, or how's that work now?
What do you mean?
Well, you didn't want the jail unless they.
The jail's a weird spot. The jail is kind of like there's a lot of money to be made there. It's like being a TIU sergeant.
Yeah.
And there's also very little. You have nobody under you.
Yeah.
You're your own person. So it has an appeal to certain people. It has zero appeal to me. I don't want anything to do. I don't care if I would get a lot of overtime. I don't care. I can't be trapped. I don't want to be stuck behind a desk. So that's the appeal to some. So for me, jail sergeant's out. But I can see the issue where you get used to seeing the judges, what they will take, what they won't take, but there's times when they let that, now you're starting to assume. and you've been doing it for so long because you're dealing with whoever. But I don't like that. If I think I'm right, and what do we tell everybody? Trust your gut, trust your spidey senses. And there's sometimes as an officer when you trust it, and your sergeant agrees with you.
I think what I would do if I was that sergeant saying, I don't see it here, I think I would say, you're welcome to go to the judge and see.
Right.
If he wants to override me, then fine.
That would be reasonable.
Yeah.
But there are some that are like, nope, go redo it. I need this, I need that, or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, if you can give me like a legit argument, but if you give me your reasoning and I don't think you're right, why wouldn't you offer that? Go talk to the judge, see what they say on this one.
You want to know what I did when I was an officer? Taking people to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I had a weak case, I'd sit there and talk to the jail lieutenant, as a jail lieutenant at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go, hey, did you see that movie? And I'd bring up a movie.
Try to distract him.
Yeah.
More than likely they're seeing right through your shit.
It worked all the time.
That's funny. Because
I figured out this one sergeant, lieutenant, he was just big into movies.
Yeah.
And because they'd watch him on the screen up there, right? And I'd just talk shit about the movie. Oh, it's a good movie. Yeah. Yeah. And start talking about them. Next thing you know, they're like,
you're no different than a suspect. You're no different than a suspect. When you pull them over and you just watch them leave a dope house and they're trying to talk shit.
Let me tell you something.
Matt Pierce said, I too have gone straight to the jail judge. Yep. Brazil said, I gotta now. Okay. Matt Pierce said that. Matt Brazil said, it was a sergeant that was in the Navy back in the day, wore a Navy hat all the time. That's
Navy
all I'll
hat.
say. And Carolyn Gilmore said, like they're trying the case. It's a PC affidavit. She ain't wrong.
Leave it to Carolyn and make it so simple.
All right. Brazil said, he asked me if I was a doctor and how I could show it has caused death or serious bodily injury. I said, dude, he has a gash in his head and I could stick a quarter in the coin slot. And he said to prove it, it could cause a serious disfigurement. Oh my God. Like, why would you take it that far as a sergeant? I wouldn't care. Okay, you think you got it? You articulated why it is? Okay, that's not... Who am I to say no?
Oh, we just knock it to regular assault. No.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Are you the fucking DA now trying to make deals?
Right? Are you the judge? That's my problem. You start thinking you're the judge. Like, you're not the judge. So
I had me and Larry got in a fight with somebody before I retired, and this guy was illegal, and they're like, oh, let's just put assault on him and be done with it. And I go, no. I said, we were in a fight and there was 2 guns there and he had access to each gun. I said, no, fuck him.
He gave him the old family motto.
Yeah. I said, no. I mean, because he's illegal, what's that matter? Well, they'll deport him. Okay, deport him.
That's insensitive.
Yeah.
Can't say that. We should tell people our family mottos while we're discussing. What's the number 1 rule?
Fuck them.
Yep, fuck them. And then what's the other one?
Fuck them.
And then number 3?
Fuck them.
There you go. Oh, shit. No whining. And yeah, I haven't used any of the family language around.
Just do it.
My troops, yeah. Oh, dime.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah. Mm-hmm. That's count. Haven't used that.
Count. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice that my dog can see you eye to eye.
It's a puppy dog.
He's such a good buddy.
But the leadership is so, it comes easy for some people. And
yeah.
Some people have a chore with it.
Yeah.
I think, to me, honestly, I think if you're just honest with people and do the best you can. You got to have some sort of, I don't know, ability to lead.
Yeah.
Not everybody can lead. Some people tell you, "Oh, a sucky leader." I try to fire somebody
below you or above you?
Below me.
Okay.
Well, no, and above me too.
I was gonna say, I'm sure the people that said you were a sucky leader were above you.
Yeah. Whew. One time we were in a lieutenant's meeting, and this DC, the assistant chief brought up something and said, "Hey, we're going to be doing this now on these blue team reports. This is what the new one is." This when blue teams first became.
Explain what a blue team is.
It's whenever an officer gets in trouble for some reason, or you got to justify an action.
Okay.
So, way we used to do it was, okay, here was a format for whatever the situation was. Say it was use of force.
Yeah.
All right. And you had to follow the certain program, I guess. It'd go by. And when all the blue teams would come out, supposed to replace everything. But they didn't quite leave enough room for everything needed to justify it. So the DC said, just attach the old form to the new form. So you're kind of doing double the work. So all I asked was, hey, we got this information that, just attach the old form to the new form. So can't we just get the new form to have what we need on it so we don't have to worry about attaching the old form to the new form? That's all it was.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker went after me. I'll tell you, I'll answer that question. That was your case that you did that was so pathetic that I had to send it back. I go, whoa, wait a minute. I never got anything back. Well, my captain behind me was going, my bad.
I was supposed to send that to you.
I just corrected it for you. Just send it on up.
Yeah.
Right. He knew what was up. He was doing me a solid.
Right.
But it wasn't good enough for him. And he went on me and on me. And so
in front of everybody,
he berated me and pretty much called me a worthless piece of shit. I was pissed. Pissed. I went down there.
Did you do the Freddie G unnecessary swearing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went
when
down
you
there.
get mad, you swear more than normal.
I went down there and I told the the acting chief, I said, that's bullshit.
Just so you know, Zarudo said you two are super gay.
Who?
I don't know. Somebody on YouTube who are super gay. So thank you. Appreciate your comment.
I resemble that.
Right?
So, anyways, I just said, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I can take an ass chewing, but, give me a heads up. And he goes, what are you going to do? Hit me?
Yep.
I said, that's bullshit. And so the chief was like, he didn't know what to do.
Oh, it was in front of the chief.
Well, assistant chief.
Okay.
He didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
He's just like,
what do you do?
Yeah. And so I think each one of us was waiting for the other to throw the first blow.
Why'd you puss out?
Huh?
Why'd you puss out?
Because I wanted him to hit me. Because, he wouldn't have hit me.
Right.
But I wanted him to make the first throw. Yeah. And this guy was like, I don't know, 6'3".
Yeah, but you're different.
Yeah.
You're a nationally ranked judo guy. It's different.
So, and we hated each other.
Before that?
No. Well, I didn't know he hated me, but he didn't think I was much of a supervisor.
Okay.
And then after
was he a black and white type supervisor?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could see you clashing with those.
And guys. Then he hated me And then finally, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I would avoid him. And then one of the last assignments I had, he was my DC. And he would send shit back all the time, and I would hit him up. And I was like, you keep sending shit back. And he goes, well, it has to be done right. And I go, you know what?
I would have had somebody else do it.
I said, maybe, I tell you what, how about you just back off a little bit, okay? And just see what could come of it. And he goes, I never had anybody tell me that. I said, okay, I'm telling you to now.
Yeah.
Just back off a little bit. And then after that, things got a little better and a little better. And then he was a stickler on these blue teams, and I finally figured out how to make him happy. And I even made a checklist for these stupid blue teams. And next thing you know, that fucker wanted me to work for him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Matt Pierce said, absolutely rough logo.
That's
out of his mouth. I don't know if that's true. So
that was him.
That's funny. Okay, so as a supervisor, when you find out you're working for somebody that doesn't like you, what's your advice?
Well,
eat crow.
I usually had an out card, Renee Camper. So,
I know, and she left me, so I got no out card.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, before she became a DC, I didn't have that, and I did work for people who were just they had issues.
Yeah.
And I can say they had issues. I can't say for sure, but that's just me.
Right.
But that's what I dealt with. And I just wrote it out. And what I did once, and some people say this was the wrong thing to do, but it was in a sergeant's meeting in narcotics. It was me and the 4 sergeants. I think there's 4 of us. And then the lieutenant and the captain. And the captain, the officers were pissed about everything. Just shit was just.
Morale was low.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they go, Freddie, what is the problem? And you know me.
The higher ups are?
Yeah.
Okay. You.
And so I go, do you want the truth? And he goes, yeah. I said, okay. You don't give a shit about these officers, and they know it. You don't know shit about narcotics, and they know it. And you're fucking spineless, and they know it. And shit could have hit
crickets.
Yeah. Right? And it all became evident that one lieutenant was the issue.
Okay.
And all he could tell me was, tell me what you really feel. And his face turned red.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, all he could tell me was in a private meeting was, I can't fix personalities. Yeah.
So it's everybody else's personality that's the problem?
It's like,
is that what they're saying?
He's saying, look, everybody has different personalities. I mean, it was just chicken shit way of avoiding the issue. Things were terrible.
Yeah.
You know, you just couldn't do anything right. And it's hard to explain, but yeah. He was a shitty leader who made it up to DC. Yeah, I'm just a shitty leader.
How do you keep morale going dealing with that?
It was a tough spot because his officers loved doing their work, but you just had to kind of filter and buffer And I don't know.
I know a leader currently that thinks that morale is not a thing. Not that morale is good or bad, that it doesn't exist. It's not a thing you worry about.
That's an idiot.
So that, and I'm like, okay, so
you want to work with robots?
Hundreds of years of military tradition has learned nothing, that morale is not a real thing. Which is even better, because some of the leadership material that I had to study to become a sergeant specifically addresses morale.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something about a shitty leader. Captain.
Okay.
Looking for a, what was it? Oh, it was it for narcotics or was it for intel? I forget which one it was. But this fucker never hit a lick, but he was an ass kisser in the military. Remember that part.
Okay.
In the military.
All right.
Okay. So I go in for an interview, and I was lieutenant at the time, seasoned. And I think it was, I want to say it was narcotics. No, it was intel. Yeah, intel. And I had mentioned in the interview that, hey, morale is important. What kind of leader are you if you expect these officers to lay their life on the line for you, but they can't trust you to do the same for them? Where's is a patent phrase that he said. And I mentioned it about, how can I expect, if I don't show loyalty to the troops, why should I see it come back?
Right.
In a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was pretty much self-explanatory. And then he called me in and said, hey, I picked this person, but, if you want to tell me what your issue was, and, I'll tell you why. And he told me that, we were kind of confused about that quote you said about showing loyalty. Like, what? I said, aren't you in the military? He goes, well, yeah. Well, that's a general patent.
It's a patent quote, bitch.
Quote.
Yeah.
I said, how can you show loyalty? You expect loyalty to come up, but you don't show it back down.
Right.
I said, these fuckers are going to die for you. Not,
yeah,
in this type of work, but that's what you're expecting. Oh yeah, I knew that. The other guys didn't know it. I go, whatever.
You knew you're screwed. Yeah.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
If you expect these guys to work and girls to work their ass for you,
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to do for them?
Right.
Something.
Yeah.
You got to do something.
Yep.
I can tell you every spot I've been to, the guys work their ass off for me. Of course, you're going to have problem children, but in general,
yeah.
Because what? I treated them like people.
Yeah. Like I would want to be treated.
And I would intentionally do this too. I would go into roll call and I would sit and look. I wish I was as good as you back in the day. You're an ass kicker. And I would just tell them that.
Yeah.
In front of everybody.
Right.
So look.
And you could be full of shit.
But it
motivate them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I can't do that because this is live. And if any of my guys see it, they'll be like, you're just doing what your dad said.
I recall as a leader, I had, let's see, 4 sergeants working for me. Each one of them was a better supervisor than I was and could do the job better. Not that they had the same qualities I had, but they knew their shit and they made me look good. They made me look good.
Yeah. Matt Pierce just said, no gun belt, shirt untucked, feet on the table. It was the best. Oh, shit.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Right? Yeah. Putting. You had your golf shit out.
Oh, well, that was back in the day when I had sergeants that took care of shit.
Yeah.
They made life easy for me.
I remember coming in and I'm like, really? Like, this is what you do? Get out here and take some fucking calls with me.
Guilt me into it. Then when I do, hey.
Yeah, relax. This ain't the fucking east side. They're just taking coins out of a fountain.
No, you don't go to the ground with your hands in your pockets.
I get it.
You're going to get some ass. You're going to get attention.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt said those were the best roll calls. All right, old man. We're at 2 hours.
Okay, gotta go.
Exactly. We still got 10 people watching. So anything you want to say to them before we check out?
Oh, I don't know how y'all do it. I mean, I just wish the best for them.
Yeah.
You know, for Matt, Carolyn.
Oh, Matt doesn't do police work anymore.
What does he do?
I don't know. He's like a showpiece for
the
department.
Walk around saying, hey, I got shot.
Yeah, I'm Matt Pierce. I got shot.
I got shot a million times.
You may have heard of me. You know my best friend over here, Matt Brazil. He got hit by a car. He doesn't know how to throw stop sticks, so pretty much the best guys on the department.
Yeah.
He's in TIU, he said.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
That makes... You know what? He should mentor Brazil to be in traffic so he doesn't have to be in traffic.
Damn.
Love you, Matt.
Get him, Matt.
Said jerks.
Get him, Matt. Oh my shit. God.
You know what they say. If you're not being made fun of at work, nobody likes you. That's how it is.
Yeah. It's fun.
He said, Eric, your fly's down. Let me look, because that's what he wants me to do. It wasn't down, but the more you talked, it just worked itself down. So
have him talk some more.
Yeah. You talk a little more, Brazil. It's like Brazil, but spelled different.
Oh, yeah?
He said, got him. All right, guys.
Go like this. Go like this to him.
We're out of here, guys. Take it easy. Let me see how to exit this thing. Escape. End stream. Thanks, guys. Come visit Murphy.